Alright, day 38. Yeah, a lot of stuff's going on since the last video. I don't even know where to start, and I'll probably just skip over some of this stuff. But yeah, anyway, long story short, New Orleans was really awesome. It was everything that we were kind of expecting, and at least I can speak for myself. But I think we both had a pretty good time, and it was probably a little bit more than that. So I mean, it was great. We had a really fun time. So we were at the frat house, Sigma Chi house, and then we ended up kind of moving out later that day and trying to find a place that was closer to the French Quarter, and because we wanted to check all that stuff out and whatnot. So got on a bus with all the stuff, went across town. Didn't quite have a place to stay. We weren't really sure what was going on. Started raining. So we got into downtown and it was pouring. We were kind of waiting for the rain to stop under this, like a McDonald's overhang, and I was like, oh man, I don't know. Let's see how the rest of the day goes. This could be kind of uncertain. But then the rain let up and we got over to Bourbon Street, and it was like, oh wow, this is actually really cool. It was, yeah, it was cool. But it was it was touristy, which we expected, but you gotta check it out. It's Bourbon Street, whatever. So we went there. We went into Pat O'Brien's, got a hurricane. That's what you're supposed to do, apparently. And we met this guy, and I'm wearing a San Francisco Giants shirt, and he's like, oh, hey, you're from the Bay Area, me too. And we start talking, and we tell him what we're doing, and that we don't really have a place and stuff. He's like, oh, that's no problem. I'm here with a bachelor party, and you could just crash at our place. Yeah, don't even worry about it. Here's the address. Just put your stuff over there. Come back, party with us all night, and then we'll just kick it over there. And yeah, you guys can totally stay with us. And we're like, all right, sweet. That sounds awesome. So he gives us an address. We bike over there with all our stuff. Kind of knock on the door, see if anybody's home. It's a really nice house, and it's in the middle of the French Quarter. And we're thinking, oh, this is gonna be sweet. I don't know where this night's gonna go, but this is good. And nobody answers the door, so we go around back, put our stuff down, and then we're about to leave, and this guy opens up a back door, and he starts talking to us, and he thinks that we're part of the bachelor party, and then we eventually explain what's going on, and we eventually figure out that it wasn't like they were renting the house. They were staying at a bed and breakfast, and this guy was the owner of the house, and he's like, dude, no, that's really screwed up. You're not allowed to stay here. Get out of here. No, that's not cool. And he said it in the nicest possible way, but he was like, yeah, you really need to leave. And then I think we got them in trouble too. But anyway, so we were like, that's too bad. That would have been cool. Then as soon as we left that, I got a confirmation on the couch surfer that we were going to stay with, and we're like, oh, sweet. All right, we'll just go over there. So we had a little time to kill. We just were kind of biking around, and then all of a sudden we ran into this huge parade that was going down some random street in the quarter, and it was like, oh, this is really cool. There's a brass band and stuff, and we were just chilling out there, and then we met up with our couch surfer who works at one of the bars over on Frenchman Street, which is kind of off the touristy area, which is cool because there's all the local stuff. And yeah, so we stayed with her. She's kind of like a bartender. She used to do fire tricks on the street, and she just knew everybody in town. It was really cool. She was really frank and stuff. It was interesting. She was an interesting person. And yeah, so we kind of followed her around and had a pretty cool night, because she would get us in all the bars. She knew where to go. She knew what was up. She literally knew 80% of the people that were there, and she's like, yeah, I just do this every night. So yeah, it was a fun night. Next day we got up. We kind of checked out New Orleans, saw Superdome, downtown, got all the stuff you're supposed to get, these French donuts everybody keeps talking about, and then there's certain drinks at certain shops and this and that. And we're like, oh, okay, this is cool. And then we're going to leave the next day to bike to Gulfport, which is where I am right now. And yeah, it was well, all right, I guess we'll go out and get some drinks and whatnot. And long story short, yeah, it was a really long night. How that stuff works. And I ended up being out until well, I never actually got back to the Couchsurfers place. I ended up just going back about 6:30 in the morning. Got about 2.5 hours of sleep before I got back. But it was just a long night, and it was great. It was a really good night, but yeah, it was long, and I got up and I was tired, and we had to bike today about 75 miles, and today it was hot. I gotta stop saying that. I say that in every single video, but it is what it is. And so yeah, we got up and biked, and man, it was hard because I was tired, I was hungover, I was dehydrated, and you know, it was tough. But yeah, we made it through the day. Wasn't too bad. Stopped, got some breakfast, and I was just like, oh man, I don't know if I can do this. This is going to be a tough day. But yeah, everything turned out well, and yeah, we made it to Gulfport, and we made it to Mississippi. So now we're in a new state. We're only here for one day. Going to Alabama tomorrow, moving quick. Kind of like cutting the corner through Mississippi. Too bad. We kind of wanted to stay a little bit longer, but it is what it is. I'm sure Alabama will be sweet too. So yeah, got into Mississippi. We're hanging out with these Couchsurfers right now. The coolest people ever. Couple, probably like yeah, middle-aged, and they're just really incredibly hospitable. They actually we're in like another house that they own right next to theirs right now. So we got the whole house to ourselves for the night. It's pretty cool. But anyway, and then also we met up. They kind of like take it under the wing. This it's like random like Vietnamese like worker who's here on like a work visa for like 3 months, and yeah, it was really cool talking to her. She's kind of like on her own out here, like doing her own thing, and she really likes to take pictures. She took like probably 50 to 60 pictures of like the inside of the Hard Rock Casino today, which yeah, whatever. Such a stereotypical thing to do. But anyway, so she was really cool. Couchsurfers are cool. Everything's been going well. New Orleans was literally like one of the awesomest weekends I've had like ever. It was a cool weekend. Yeah, I can't even start to like explain everything that happened. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, it was good. Crossed some stuff off the bucket list. And yeah, heading to Alabama tomorrow and to Mobile. All right, later.